think we are live. Doesn't look like we got anybody in chat, but that's alright. Well, it's been a while since I did one of these, so forgive me if I'm a little rusty. But yeah, yep. So here's Metroid Fusion. It is a Game Boy Advance game from 2002, like you just saw on the title screen, and you know, I'm gonna say, maybe it doesn't get the love it deserves in 2020. I don't know. This game has its good points. This game has some issues, but I'm gonna say overall a good Metroid game. It has been a minute since I played it. We'll see how this goes. Okay, so I am going to start over. Yeah, so it's October, which means here in the Northern Hemisphere it is fall. And I just thought it would be a good time to, you know, maybe play some games that have a little bit of a spooky or a creepy, maybe a horror bent to them. And you could definitely say that about the Metroid series. It's it has its roots in sort of sci-fi and horror. Especially stuff like Aliens. Well, that's probably the big influence there. Aliens. You know, maybe a little RoboCop. Got somebody in this cybernetic suit shooting fools with a big gun. Samus's gun does not pop out of her leg, unfortunately, unlike RoboCop's. But hey, that's just part of what makes RoboCop special. So here's the intro to Metroid Fusion, and yeah, Samus has had a little bit of an episode here, and taken a turn for the worst. Fortunately, unlike the intentionally deceptive intro suggests, she did not die by crashing into a random asteroid belt. But, as a result of her weird infection by the parasite X, she now has to have her suit basically surgically removed from her body. Right. And as a result, she looks a little bit different than in previous games. Yes, so she takes the cure made from cells of a Metroid. So, in case you haven't watched any of my other streams, this is being recorded off of real hardware. This, in this case, is a GameCube with an attached Game Boy player accessory. And I am running a soft mod to allow me to do homebrew applications. In this case, I'm running Swiss and the Game Boy Interface, or GBI, which GBI is essentially a replacement for the packed-in Game Boy Player software, and it does a much better job of video output, especially if you've got component cables, and especially if you are feeding the signal into an XRGB Mini FrameMeister like I'm doing here, which I feel results in a very agreeable picture. I do have the sharpness bumped up to 1, and it is just a razor sharp picture. Man, I forgot how long this intro was, and it is unskippable, so yeah, just sort of sit tight. And this, this does bring me to one of the major complaints about this game, is that the story is and dialogue are a little obtrusive, and by a little I mean they're pretty dang obtrusive. You are talked at. People talk to you a lot in this game. Well, people, that's maybe a loose definition of the word person, but there's a lot of dialogue, and you are locked into a lot of dialogue in this game, which at the time was pretty contentious because, up to this point, Metroid games were not dialogue heavy at all. I mean, the most there had been up to this point was the opening narration at the beginning of Super Metroid. And in this one, you were just constantly getting, mission briefings, commentary. Most of it is courtesy of this this helpful AI. Alright, here we are on the space station. This is where the whole game takes place. See, Samus has her neat blue and yellow suit. And we're just going to kind of poke around and see what's going on here. She also has the ledge hang. It's going to be critical for traversing a lot of these opening areas, especially before you get the high jump upgrade. Actually, can I go in that thing? Yeah, sure, why not? Alright. Alright, so at this point in the game you can't open any doors on your own. So it is gonna be pretty linear here. Can't even morph ball yet. I imagine we'll fix that here in just a moment. Ah. Come here, you. Alright. So the enemies in this game are a little different than in past Metroid games. These are all infected by the X-Parasite that attacked Samus in the intro. And when you kill an enemy, it essentially reverts back to its sort of amoeba-like parasite form, and which you can then collect for energy items, whatever. Yeah, so who could have imagined the X are busting loose, and you're gonna be cleaning them up across this whole dang space station. Yep. Yeah, well, we killed all the Metroids, so now we get to deal with the ecological fallout of that unfortunate decision. Yes, it's very clear. All right. We can now open level 0 doors. Alright, so we're heading up and to the right. I would say another complaint or observation or whatever about this game. It is much more linear, it is much more guided than previous Metroid games. There is less freeform exploration. Your path through the game is much more prescribed, with less opportunity to sort of explore and maybe sequence break or get into areas where you're not necessarily supposed to be. Case in point, there is not a whole heck of a lot we're going to be able to do in this section besides go where the computer is telling us to go. One neat thing, yeah, being able to download your weapons is kind of an interesting concept. In practice, it's not that much different from picking up weapon orbs or whatever from old Metroid games. But at least they were trying to mix things up thematically a little. Yeah, so first expository remarks from Samus. So her computer, Adam, reminds her of her old commanding officer, which, if you have played the Wii Metroid game, Other M, will be a familiar plot point. And that actually explores some of the backstory that they establish in this game about Samus and Adam. Unfortunately, by most accounts, they don't do a great job of fleshing out that particular piece of backstory, and I have not played Other M. So I don't really feel like I'm qualified to comment a lot about it, but right. A little bit of a power failure. I hope your missiles work. Yeah, me too. Good, not that I really need to point it out, but just good atmosphere in this game, even by Metroid standards. They do a great job of sort of setting you up in the beginning as being very underpowered, just sort of a shell of your former self, even more so than other Metroid games. Alright, now that I have missiles, we can get rid of these ugly green barriers. Let's do a little vent climbing. Move it along, down. So it has, God, I don't even remember. I think the last time I streamed was March of 2019, something like that. So it's been over a year since I did anything with all this equipment, and part of the reason for that is that I have actually started attending college in my late 30s to basically retrain and get myself some kind of a degree under my belt and try to get my foot in the door of a company who will hopefully pay me to do work that I don't hate. Because let me tell you, working in a call center for the last 15 years or so, I've really gotten a strong distaste for that sort of work. What little of it there even is around in this area anymore, which is not much. I don't know if I've ever really talked about talked about my job or any of that on these streams I've been doing off and on, but there you go. Ex call center, and not a lot of other experience besides that. So I thought college was a good option. Of course, I picked maybe the worst time to try to go back to school, or well, really the worst time to try to do anything right now, due to COVID-19 ravaging the globe. But nobody was expecting a freaking pandemic, I guess. Alright, I guess I should actually pay attention to this boss. He's not too bad. So this is actually, I think, a boss that is based on one of the enemies from Metroid 2. I want to say he is maybe a beta Metroid? Alpha Metroid? I don't remember. I'm pretty sure that's what this thing is. Or he's just one of the other mid-bosses from that game. Either way, I want to say it's kind of a Metroid 2 homage going on here. You can probably guess what power-up he will be giving me. There we go. So that is how you get a lot of your power-ups in this game, is you have to beat one of the ex-Parasite bosses and absorb the core. And then you recover one of your former abilities. So now I can turn into a ball, which is only right and proper as per Metroid tradition. Speaking of the morph ball, I really enjoy the bit in Metroid Prime, the first one, where you can scan terminals in that game, and one of them has a report from space pirate scientists who are trying to reverse engineer Samus's morph ball technology, and their descriptions of what is happening to their test subject, their pirate test subjects, as they're getting crushed into a very small space. And it is, I won't go so far as to say disturbing, but it is it's amusing. It is an amusing thought. Space pirate scientists. I mean, those guys they have like giant lobster claws on their hands, or on the ends of their arms instead of hands. So I don't know how you do science with that. I don't know how you do much besides snap at people and maybe lop off limbs, but by gosh, they found a way. Alright, so my next objective, I guess, is to, I don't know, get to the next sector maybe. I'm sure the navigation room computer will be more than happy to elucidate on exactly what it expects me to be doing. Yeah. That's a shame. Good creepy music. You don't say. There we are. Okay, I think that's all I can really do here for now. Oop, out. Nope, don't want to be here. Yeah, other fun fact, or fun feature, or, well, it's a feature anyway, but yeah, since Since Samus was treated with the Metroid vaccine, apparently she is now effectively part Metroid, which means that she is very susceptible to cold areas, which is an interesting twist on taking damage from the warm areas of the first game, or I should say the Super Metroid. Ooh. Oh, yeah. And here we have our first glimpse of the SAX, or as I like to refer to it, SAX! Yeah, so you better believe that'll be coming up again a little later. But for now, on to Sector 1. Okay, we've been going about 20 minutes now, so... we'll see how far I can get. I would like to maybe clean up at least the first sector before I sign off here, which I think is doable. Alright. Okay, so we need to, I think he said activate some atmospheric stabilizers. And I think they're all pretty much in kind of the same general area. So, should not be difficult. X can be annoying. Yeah, the way the mechanics of the X parasites work, they will reform into enemies if you do not pick them up, and sometimes you just can't pick them up. They're basically just functionally invincible. And they will coalesce into an enemy no matter what you do, like when they're flashing, basically. So basically by killing the smaller enemies, you create a larger, tougher enemy. Okay, looks like we've got an E-tank, and we'll be wanting that, so... onward. Okay, I'm gonna say we will... whoop, nope. I was going to say we'll want to go into here and do a little cleanup. Yeah, so since the X parasites will typically go turn into new enemies, it's usually best to try to absorb them with your body as fast as you can. That's annoying. Alright, so we've got some weak 4 here. Alright, 2 down, 2 to go. I'm gonna say we probably don't want to be in here just yet. Well, okay, no. I'll take a missile tank. And I think that's about as far as we're gonna get. For now. Okay, I cannot hit these guys with my normal beam. They will die to a missile. I think it might be best if I just move along. Oh, there's actually a total of 5 of these things I need to fix. Two down, 1 to go. Sorry, 4 down, 1 to go. Space pirates are a little annoying, but not too bad. Hopefully the last atmospheric thingy is in that upper boss room, but we will save first, of course. Because who wants to play all that over again? Nice little grind spot here. We'll happily take the energy. These eyeball doors are not my idea of a good time, but especially when they shield themselves like that. Dang it. Ah. There we go. Oh. It was a trick. Gotcha. Yeah, so sometimes the X just shows up like that, and you gotta wait for it to open its little aperture or whatever it is. But now I have my charge beam. And this should be the last purifier. Take that, toxins. All right. Let's save. And we will move right along. Not that way. So I've been thinking about other games I might stream later this month, or even next month, or whenever. As far as spooky stuff, I could keep the GBA train rolling with, I don't know, maybe some Castlevania. I'm open to suggestions for other possible spooky games. I'm sure there aren't really that many on GBA. I do have other systems I could play that are hooked up on my setup at the moment. So if you have any ideas for at least somewhat common games, retro games preferably from systems like NES, Super Nintendo, PlayStation, PS2, that sort of thing. I've got most of the major ones from the last several generations, but one of the ones I don't have would be an original Xbox, which I think there may be some, I don't know, Fatal Frame or something on there. I know there was a port of Silent Hill 2 and probably 3. I've got those on PlayStation 2, so if I really want to stream them, I can do so on a PS2. Yes, let's get to Sector 2. So you can't even go through this door, this door that just opened. You can't even go through that till you listen to the computer rattle off its little spiel. So, freeform exploration, not really the name of this game, like maybe it used to be in some of the previous Metroid games. I'll go a little bit longer. I usually like to keep my live streams at around 40 minutes, maybe an hour at the most. I just feel like if I go much longer than that, it kind of drags. Alright, Compy, what you got for me? Oh no! Dun dun dun. So when he says this, if you see this thing just run, he is not joking. Yeah, he even says it, I think, 2 or 3 times, so... Yo, for real. If you run up on this thing, do not fight it. And you know, they do a good job of making that thing seem threatening. It's got its own scary music. I mean, it's basically, you could certainly draw some comparisons to the Nemesis from Resident Evil 3. Like, it is no joke. It will mess you up, especially this early in the game. If you, the first couple of times you run into SAX, you will probably die multiple times. Which, you know, after you die the first couple times, you could certainly argue it just gets kind of annoying and less scary. But I do admire them for at least trying to inject a little more of a sense of horror into this game compared to maybe some of the other Metroid games. All right, we'll come back for you. Well, not that way, apparently. Maybe this way. Ah, okay. So I'm going to have to open this... What is this, level 1 hatch? Yeah, so the level 1 hatches are locked. So I need to find the security room that will unlock them, which I can only assume will be the opposite direction. I'm gonna say there's a strong possibility it's over here. And there we go. Now, back the way I came. Oops. What's in here? I'm gonna say there's something in that room, but I'm not gonna continue to look for it right now. There we go. Load me up with that bomb. I'm sure that was a good explosion. So, by my recollection, a lot of this game involves bombing your way through to new areas. And is, in fact, required at certain points. Okay, so we are off the grid at this point. Yeah, good call coming back this way. Because once the SAX shows up, all bets are off, and there's a good chance I'm going to die, so... Let's just be prepared. Oh, I love a good maze. I really do think this is one of the better GBA titles, especially early on in the system's life. I mean, getting a new Metroid game after, gosh, how long had it been? At that point, I guess 8 years. Super Metroid was 94. This was 2002. So yeah, it was a big deal. You know, I mean, whether or not you're going to call this the best Metroid game or not, or even a good one, I mean, it's hard to deny at that point. You know, people were excuse me, there weren't all the Metroidvania games that there are now. Like, people weren't aping Metroid with stuff like, you know, Axiom Verge, Rogue Legacy, Guacamelee, any, you know, number of other Metroid-y sort of games. I guess Hollow Knight. I haven't played that one. Wow, this thing's strong. My audio is, my microphone isn't being drowned out by the game noise or vice versa. Hopefully that's all balanced well enough. It's like I said earlier at the top of the stream, it has been a minute since I've done any of this stuff, and to be honest, my stream setup is not ideal. I've got my microphone sitting on a shoebox basically, on a little mini table, and you know, it could be better. Alright. Okay. Yeah, this game kind of, when you're exploring around in these green sections of the map that don't get uncovered when you first get your map download of the area, it almost gives me this kind of feeling like in the first Portal, where you start breaking out of the test chambers and getting into sort of the back areas of the facility where it feels like you're not really supposed to be. Sort sort of like you're treading in a forbidden area. You know, it's interesting. I think it's a cool vibe. That really bears out later in this game when you get into a certain area, which I'm not going to spoil. But you definitely feel like an intruder there. The game at least makes it a little more explicit. I won't say anything else about that. Anyway, probably wrap up here in a little bit. Oh, you know what? This actually might be a... Is this... okay. Never mind. Well, we'll go a little bit further here. Man, these guys hurt. I need the Varia suit. Oh, gosh, these guys are doing like 30 damage or something every time I touch them. It's a little harsh. Well, not necessarily what I wanted to do, but I could use the energy, so... Always welcome. And one more save for the road. Ah, alright. Well, won't be going that way. They really pack the rooms in here. Okay, so I need to drop down into this room from the one above it. Oh, that's not good. That's very not good. Alright, enough of that. Yeah, some of the areas in this game, I honestly, yeah, probably my biggest complaint with this game is that just navigating what seems like an obvious route is usually rarely actually obvious, like this, where, you know, how were you supposed to know that thing was there? Alright, come on. One. You, sir, are a nuisance. I cannot tell you how long it took me to figure out how to fight this boss the first time I played through this game. It is not obvious. Also, what a weird boss. Take that. I will take that high jump. And that jump ball. Ooh yeah, look at that. Good, good and high. Just like I like it. Alright. Well, now that I've got that... Okay, we're coming up here on an hour, so I am going to try and pick my way out of this area, and then I'm going to save, and we'll call that a stream, I guess. Oh, right, can't go that way. Well, Interesting detail. All these caterpillars have basically gone into hibernation. Oh, right. Now everything is all destroyed. Oh, right. So you can try to fight SA-Hex here, and you will die. In all likelihood. So I don't fight it. I just go on with my life. Let's see what's over here. Not much. So I guess these wasps are what used to be the caterpillars. It's an interesting detail. I like the little life cycle they kind of depict here. Okay, and we're back. We are back here. Can I get up? No? Okay. Now that I have bombs, let's see if there's anything in here worth bombing. Why, yes. Well, that's, you know, a missile. I'll take a missile. Anybody else? Anything else in here? No. Actually, now that I have the high jump, I think I can get the item in here. Yep. And that is... those are blocks that I would need the screw attack to break, so we won't bother. Okay, let's save. And we'll head on to the next area, but I will just get there and then we will sign off. And of course, more trouble. Yeah. Oh, Sector 4. Let's move out. Samus does a little speculating about what the SAX is. Yeah, probably not great that it has all of your abilities. When you were your most powerful at the end of Super Metroid. That's another, you know, another interesting concept, facing your powered-up self from a previous game. I would really like to see a remake of this game that kind of files off some of the rough edges. Okay, lots of damage in this area. Actually, I remember this sector specifically taking a long time to make my way through and just figure out where the F I was supposed to go at any given point. It's big, too. Yeah. So, I think that would be a good place to wrap up for now, but hey, thanks for watching. Hopefully I can do another one of these sooner than, whatever it was, 18 months since the last one I did. I would also like to get back to Super Mario Bros. 3 at some point, maybe play a little more of that. I think I got to World 4, Giant Land, God, in March 2019, whenever that was, but... Alright, again, thanks for joining me. I see I got at least one person here on chat, Aaron, so... Yeah, thanks for dropping in. Better late than never. You're right. Hopefully next time you can catch the whole thing as I'm doing it, but... again, I would like to do more of these in the near future. If I have the time, I certainly will. My term actually wraps up halfway through November, so maybe a little closer to the end of the year, I can start doing a few more of these as time and circumstances allow. But anyway, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.